A strong performance right from the beginning. We were really dominant. We created many chances, and we went goal down the first shot that they had. And I love the reaction of the team. That they stay calm, they stay composed. We stick to the plan that we had, and we played really well. Score the goal, and at the end win the game, even though probably it's the worst 10 minutes that I've seen us play.
The first half performance was absolutely nothing like Tottenham Hotspur.
Agree 100%. Agree 100%. I hope that your opinion about the penalty is as super correct as your analysis of the first half is super correct.
Well, Lacazette has missed the ball and Davinson Sanchez clearly makes contact with him. What's your opinion?
When?
After the ball is gone.
Ah, okay. So, correct analysis too.
I think we control the game very, very well. If you take out the last 10-15 minutes. Because of that, I think our team in the last 15 minutes play with emotion. Play so excited and we are winning, let's win this game with a lot of young players. And you have to learn. You have to learn because the other side was an amazing team with amazing players. That's why even with the 10 men, they try to score and you win the game or draw the game and try in the same way. So, but I'm happy. I'm
trying to be honest and pragmatic. First half was their half. Second half, Mikel Oliver and Paul Tierney in the VAR, they decide the game.
Steve Wilson's kind of done our analysis for us, hasn't he? Let's get straight to it then, and the decisions that changed everything in the second half. Start with the penalty. You obviously don't think it's a penalty.
No, I think it's a poor decision from Mikel Oliver, I really do. I think he's got a great sighting of the challenge. I don't think he'd given himself really any time to really see exactly what had happened. You can see clearly here, as Lacazette goes to hit this ball, he misses the ball completely. So therefore, the momentum of Lacazette, as you can see Davinson Sanchez coming in to block the ball, kicks Davinson Sanchez, and Davinson Sanchez kicks Lacazette. They kick each other because Lacazette misses the ball. Never a penalty in a million years. And the fact that VAR didn't overturn it on the basis of the fact that they feel it wasn't a clear and obvious error, I think is ridiculous.
As we understand it, Mikel Oliver thought it was reckless, said to VAR he thought it was reckless, and therefore VAR thought there was no reason...
reckless on Lacazette's point.
No reason to overturn it. That's what we're told, in the same way that we would understand if he hadn't given a penalty, VAR wouldn't have overturned it.
No,
Mikel Oliver, from a centre-half's point of view...
From an Arsenal perspective, right. Arsenal are lucky to get a penalty there. I think they ultimately deserved it. They were by far the better team on the day. Mourinho will point to only the mistake by the referee.
You don't deserve the penalty though, Martin.
Well, they deserve to win the game.
100%. Much better team, but that doesn't mean you deserve a penalty in that scenario.
You know, and to be honest, if you look at the referee's position, he's got it completely wrong. This is where VAR could help out in this situation. I wouldn't have wanted it today as an Arsenal fan, but the right decision would have been made, and ultimately Arsenal have got away with it.
If you're a centre-half in that position, that isn't reckless, is it? Because you're trying to block the ball. If Lacazette had connected with the ball, you might well have blocked it.
Sanchez arguably has set himself up perfectly there because he hasn't actually gone into the challenge. He's raised his foot. He gets kicked by Lacazette. So I have no issue, but this is where the referee can see that. Look how the ball deviates out to the left. It's even more obvious from behind. So I'm not really sure what Mikel Oliver has done there, but they didn't want to overrule him. And that's where VAR, really, the protocol is being followed, but it's wrong because it's not justice. But I'm not going to complain about it as an Arsenal fan.
All right. We'll look at Lamella's 2 yellow cards in a moment, but let's look at his goal first of all, and let's get analysis of this from the man more likely to have scored it, Martin.
Well, a Robinho.
A Rabona.
Rabona, yeah.
There you go. There you go, right there. You set yourself up for that.
To be honest, this is a piece of magic. Really is. And if you see the Arsenal players, they're almost stunned. It goes through Partey's legs. Brilliant piece of skill. I mean, that's improvisation. Brilliant.
It's also the fact that it stays along the ground all the way.
You know, he's got previous of this, Lamella. He did it in the Europa League a few years ago, which was higher and much further out. He obviously just feels comfortable, you know, doing that. It had me off my feet for 5 minutes.
For 5, yeah,
you actually pick you off the ceiling.
She went out into the corridor and started dancing up and down the corridor.
It was a great
the 2 yellow cards.
Yeah, look, I actually think the first one's harsh. I really do. I think the challenge on Partey, he wins the ball. We've got a situation in football right now where you literally can't tackle. Contact doesn't seem to be allowed. He comes in from the side, and I think Mikel Oliver again's got a great view of it. He'll probably say it's an aggressive tackle, but you see here, as he goes to pass it, he clearly wins the ball. Yes, his back leg comes and follows through, but what are you going to do? You can't chop your back leg off.
I disagree there. I think he doesn't need to do that. And when he puts his arm out there, that's aggressive.
That one...
It's a straight arm. He's 7 minutes after the first incident. It's unprofessional. He's let his teammates down with that. He really shouldn't be getting involved. And actually, when he came on with the intention of trying to wind up Arsenal players. David Luiz, he got involved with Xhaka. And if you look at what he's done, he was sent off in a similar situation. He's going to have to learn from that. I know it's his first sending off, but he's let his teammates down with that challenge.
I think you're being a bit harsh. It's his first sending off. People have this makeup within them. He has a fire in him when he plays football. You had a fire in you when you played football. Some players play on the edge.
I can see what he's trying to do.
It's the first time he's overstepped the mark and got the red card. You can't sit here and say he's got to learn from it. He's never been sent off in a Spurs
Why is he getting
before.
involved in things? He's a great player. You can see he has the ability, but he's getting involved in niggly little challenges.
You could argue the first one he's trying to block it and he's trailing low, takes the man.
I think he knows what he's doing.
Do you think he knows what he's doing with that one?
Yeah, I do. I think it's unnecessary.
The second one, I tend to agree with Martin more in terms of the fact that if you're on a yellow card at that point, don't be throwing your arms about. It's as simple as that. But yeah, it was the first one. I didn't think it was a yellow card.
Let's look at some of the actual football, shall we? And Arsenal were dominant in that first half, particularly down their left side.
They were. Tierney and Smith-Rowe, the positions he's taken up here is outstanding. He's very clever. Tierney plays very high and wide. He finds him into the pockets of spaces, and he kept pulling that midfield, Spurs' midfield, out into wide areas where they didn't want to go. Time and again, it was there, that little combination. Tierney as well, bombing forward, such energy down that left-hand side. Bale wasn't really offering anything defensively, and they kept coming. And eventually, that's where the goal comes from, because they're probing all the time. And Smith-Rowe, he's got a little bit in his game. He's got gears. He can run with it. He can pick a pass. And it was too much for Tottenham. It was just a matter of time, really, before this happened. And they missed on that occasion. But Ødegaard was a player that I've looked at strongly. He's an interesting player. He's getting better all the time, and he finds a pocket of space for the Arsenal goal. Again, Tierney, look, gets down that left-hand side, takes a deflection, but he's in that little pocket of space that he's there for.
When Smith-Rowe went off, they lost some of their impetus, didn't they?
They did. In fact, 4 of the shots, the 6 shots that Tottenham had, came after that period. David Luiz makes a good point there, that it's an emotional team. It's a young team, but they stopped pressing the ball. They're down to 10 men, Spurs, and it was actually the best they played throughout the 90 minutes.
Yeah. Go on. No, I was just going to say, from a Spurs point of view, I thought they were poor. Yeah. They were absolutely poor throughout the game. They went into the game with a completely wrong mindset. You know, you've got 4 top forward players on the pitch, and they're playing in such a defensive manner and didn't seem to have that bite and that fight that you need in these derbies. And Arsenal were brilliant. Martin was right. You know, down that left-hand side, they were pretty unstoppable, and they thoroughly deserved the win on the day.
Is that players, or is that in managerial instruction? Or is it impossible to tell?
It's hard to tell, because obviously I'm not in the dressing room. But I feel like the mindset of the players going into that game was very negative. Now, they've either been told to play a lot deeper and play counter-attacking football, or you go out into games and you're high press and you're high energy. Jose may have said that, and they didn't deliver. So it's hard for me to... You're not in the dressing room, so it's hard to say.